taking you all the way to South Africa. Chairman of the Magdan Group of Companies, Dr. Daniel Macaulay, is urging Ghanaian businesses to take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area in order to expand their operations. The Magdan Group was the first African business to secure a partnership with the Continental Free Trade Area, which will allow the private firm Shipping Line the opportunity to load and transport goods across AfCFTA member countries. Now, speaking exclusively to Joy News' Blaise Suga at the African Continental Free Trade Area Business Forum in South Africa, Dr. Macaulay underscored the tremendous opportunities the trade agreement presents to the private sector.
The continental free trade is going on, but a lot of people really don't understand what is going on. As a businessman, I really want to take a full share of what is going on. That is why I'm here.
For you as a businessman, how are you positioning, for instance, some of your investments and your businesses that cuts across the continent to ensure that we take advantage, or you take advantage of the opportunities that the Continental Free Trade Area will present?
Okay, if you remember, I signed a MOU as the first African to actually sign an MOU with the Continental Free Trade Secretariat.
Wow, your company was the first?
Was the first to sign the MOU with them, and also to help with the guided trade. I approached them. Right now we have procured 2 cargo planes and also a vessel to support the movement. And if you ask me, this is a fantastic movement, and looking at what is going on in the African continent, every businessman's position is there, but we are taking it to another level, because the whole thing is about trade. The whole thing is about moving cargo. I mean, if we had to do with trade, Magdan, obviously, you know, is an African giant when it comes to movement. So we have really positioned ourselves with the contract that we signed with them. We have started the movement, and if you see what is going on here right now, it's about quotas, tariff, and policy direction and all that. But the private sector is deeply involved in whatever decision is going on here right now.
So what message do you have for other Ghanaian entrepreneurs, businessmen who are not seeing the opportunities as you see it? Do you have a message for the private sector in Ghana relating to the Continental Free Trade Area?
Well, you ask me, I'll tell every businessman in Ghana that we shouldn't joke with this movement. We shouldn't joke with this after this continental free trade, because the earlier you position yourself, the better it is. And we are talking about $3.4 trillion movement yearly, doing business with 1.6 billion people across the continent. I see it big. I mean, there's nothing that is so big than this in the African continent. As we all know that Africa is green, and I always say that the early bird catches the worm. So I will encourage every businessman to participate in what is going on. It's a big thing, and it depends on how you see business and your taste for business. And I will encourage every businessman to participate, at least to have an idea about what is going on, and see where you can also slot yourself in the whole continent.
Right. And going forward, well, businessmen don't usually do that, but are we to expect more from the Magdan Group? What's next in line for you, not just in relation to investments in Ghana, but all across the African continent? Are there some plans that perhaps you want to put out
most
there?
Definitely. You see, what is going on is it's about time Ghanaian businesses go international.
Okay.
No, we have sat for so long. always businesses are coming to us. And we have to be a bit bold, we have to be a bit aggressive, we have to be a bit industrious, we have to be a bit innovative to be able to take the business to other continents, other countries. And within this AfCFTA, there's a lot of needs in Niger, there's a lot of needs in Nigeria, there's a lot of needs in South Africa where we are right now. So whilst we are home base, we have to think of taking the business to other places. As I always say, we are living in Ghana, but we don't own anything.
Right.
See, I mean, every business is owned by mostly foreigners. And I mean, the dominated businesses I'm talking about. So it's about time we take the business out of Ghana to other foreign countries.
All right, joining us is Blaise Sugar covering the AfCFTA Business Forum in South Africa. He was speaking there exclusively with Chairman of the McDan Group of Companies, Dr. Daniel Macaulay. There'll be more coming from there in the coming days.